be real with you. In the last 3 seconds, I actually just felt my boob tape snap. So if you could just let me know at home, we're gonna be best friends really fast. If there's anything that you see that my mother would not be proud of, could you just let me know? Can we make sure that the chat's working? Can you just say, I got you, Giselle? Like, it's gonna be okay, we're in this together. And if anything, I mean, it just goes to show that we haven't left the house in a while, and what a perfect place for something like that to happen than to be in a room surrounded by a lot of strong women who, when something like that happens, we keep going with it, right, ladies? And with that, speaking of trust, you know, I know that this is a group that we constantly want to surround ourselves with people who inspire us to be and do better. This is definitely an organization that helps me with that and a team that helps me do that. But I want to tell you about a little story about my people, my friends, my ladies in my life, who a couple of weeks ago had this grand idea that, you know what, we haven't hung out in a while in this time of social distancing. Let's do something to empower one another. No, not shopping. No, not happy hour. No, not even a walk. Hey, let's go for a run. I'm not a runner. I don't know if you could tell by looking at me, but I'm just gonna let you know, like in middle school and high school, when we had that whole mile run thing, I was the one who was always the last, if not second to last done, like 12, 14 minutes would be walking at the end. When I say run, that is a very generous term. However, I mean, these are my girls, these are my ladies. You want to run? Well, then that means that you're gonna have to carry me with you. So, all right, fine, let's go for a run. And then my friend Emma had the even grander idea, let's run hills. What? Okay, and you know, I haven't seen them in a while, so I'm just thinking, well, maybe once we get there, I can talk them out of it, and rather than running, we can just walk, and then it'll be a hike. And okay, like totally, let's do hills. I got this, you've got me, it's gonna be great. I get there, it's not just the three of us, it's like a dozen people. And these dozen people, they were the ones that were fit to begin with, but then quarantine happened and they were like, let's get jacked. Whereas I was like, you know what, let's just like sit and eat potato chips and maybe stretch and do some yoga. I have not worked out in a very long time. But again, I can mind over matter the heck out of anything. So I'm thinking of like those movies when you think, okay, she's got this, she's gonna power through this, she's gonna like be there in the finish line and cross with everybody else. That didn't actually happen. What ended up happening was we turn the music on, everyone starts running, some people even sprinting, and I'm like, okay, I got this. Come on, Giselle, we can mind over matter this. We can do this, we can do this. Very quickly though, my run turned into a jog. From there, it turned into what I like to call a wog, which is where it's like a walk jog, but like really you're just pumping your arms really fast. And quite frankly, if you were walking next to me, you would probably pass me. But I keep on going. Eventually I give up. I let myself breathe. And I could have gotten so upset in that moment. I could have started crying. I could have gotten back in my car, especially as my friends start lapping me, not once, not twice, but a third time around. And instead, I had this thought that, you know what? This is really hard for me, but there isn't a single person on that hill who isn't pushing themselves. And so often we get caught in this crazy place of comparison where we're looking at this person and we think that they are running, but they are just as out of breath as we are. They've just been doing it for longer. And we hold ourselves up to such a high standard thinking that we could run a marathon tomorrow when really, boo-boo, you should just be learning how to walk to the end of the block, and then you'll eventually get to that point and be able to see how far you've come. And I am very grateful that eventually we kept on doing this over and over. I was able to eventually run is still a generous term, jog to the top of that hill. But what was so great about that day was here I am, you know, I was like that Rebel Wilson in Pitch Perfect where I was basically horizontal running by the end of it. And I'm cheering my friends on like, come on, you got this, you look so good, even though I'm walking. But then at the end, we all start saying goodbye. I stay there to catch my breath a little bit longer, not to let anybody know that I was totally cramping up. And this woman comes up to me. She wasn't even with our group. And she just goes, I just want to say thank you. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Like, did I drop something? Is this a joke? Like, what's going on here? And she goes, I was watching your group the entire time and you kept on catching my attention. I'm like, okay, that's sad, but all right, keep going. And she's like, you have no idea the year that I've had with my health. I wasn't going to come out here today, but I came and I pushed myself. And my eyes kept on going to you. And when I saw that you would stop and walk, it gave me permission to be able to rest and give myself grace. When you started running again, it let me know, okay, you know what? I can do this a little bit longer. And when you were cheering your friends on, you were actually cheering me on. And what that reminds me of is that we are on this journey constantly, and we see these wave makers tonight. So many of them so accomplished and so far along in their goals. What we don't realize is that sometimes the biggest waves we can make is simply showing the example to give ourselves permission to start and to show up. And so maybe you have had a horrible year. Maybe you have had so many unexpected rugs pulled out from under you that you didn't even realize there was another rug, and yet there it was again. But yet the mere fact that you keep showing up and standing up, you have no idea who could be watching you and who you could be inspiring in the process. So do not be fooled when it comes to those waves. It's not just about the grand waves, it's the little ones too. And so I want to make sure that we are celebrating every single person here tonight, whether your name is on that screen or not. And with that, we absolutely need to shine a light on the reason why we are here, the team that is making great waves in our community, and that's Team Women. I would like to officially welcome all of you to the 5th Annual Wavemaker Awards. Thank you to every single one of you at home. What an impressive group we have gathered in this room. Even if you're not physically here, incredible wave-making women and the people who love you and raised you and who make you every single day. I'm also so thrilled to see so many women here who I call dear friends who are being recognized tonight. And now I get to see you getting appreciated on a grander scale. I am so honored to be here sharing this moment with you. And actually, speaking of sharing, you know I love social media, so please do not be shy on social media. Make sure that you are connected, following, and tagging Team Women MN. And without further ado, let's get this party started. Please help me in welcoming Committee Chair Erin King and Vice Chair Kate Bach to tell you what you're going to expect tonight.